There was a time once when life was much simpler.
A time when one knew their purpose in life because it said warrior or mage or whatever right there on the character sheet. When role-playing games actually involved playing a role and rolling to play with only pen and paper.
Okay, so Knights of Pen and Paper. We're catching up with Paradox and trying to find out a little bit more about this game that's now sort of being turned into a +1 edition and all that. But first of all, can we sort of get the background of how this partnership came to be and sort of where this game comes from?
All right, Knights of Pen and Paper was released last year, 2012, about October. And this partnership began with us showing the game to the guys up on Paradox. And they thought it was really cool. It was a good game, a great game, and had this potential to other platforms, new players, and that's how it all began.
And from your side?
I first heard about it after Shams, our acquisition guy, had talked to Behold and checked out the game, and then he contacted me and said I might have this project that you might like, so could you check out this game? And I was immediately very psyched to work on it. So. It was really exciting, and it's been a lot of fun so far. So,
yeah, because it seems like every nerd's dream game sort of thing. And for those who are watching who don't really know the concept, just briefly what the concept is here.
All right, so Knights is a really meta game style. So you are actually playing with people playing an RPG, a tabletop pen and paper RPG. So it's pixel art, chiptune. Turn-based game, RPG game, so it's really old style, reminding us of our youth, playing pen and paper, and calling your friends and playing together. That's what it's about.
Because RPGs, sort of, that's where they came from into the digital form, but they sort of maybe lost that sort of element of sitting together. And more it became, you're this guy on an epic quest, and maybe you pick up some people along the way, but that's just for, fighting monsters or whatever.
Oh, well.
Just tell them about how you came up with the idea, because I think that's a
well, this game actually was originally created on a RPG session. We were actually playing RPG and was like, hey, let's create a game, a digital game that makes justice to this. What we're playing right now, having our friends together, ordering pizza, having some soda, and playing overall jokes and all these other things aren't necessarily connected to playing the game. This experience is what we try to get in the digital world.
So I guess people who are familiar with the game and have played the game, they are mostly wondering, what's this +1 thing? What's being added, and sort of how will the experience change in any way when it comes to Steam?
All right. First of all, for players who have already played, we actually listen to the players. They ask for some features. We have added the tavern, where you can swap players. You can bench some characters and then try out the new classes that we have unlocked. We have balance more things, add more items, more quests, overall more things. The game is bigger, the game is better right now. It's widescreen, so you're gonna see even more awesome pixel art. What else? There are obviously some other things, like the dungeon system, which is brand new. There was nothing like it before.
We have a bunch more stuff planned as well, but we're not showing off any of that yet. But we have definitely a lot of plans, both for the relaunch, and then we have a few ideas of what we want to do moving forward. But we also want to hear the community's reaction to the stuff we do.
So you're calling it a relaunch? So this will sort of replace the old game, or how do you deal with that?
We probably have to update the original game, but we're pretty much gonna try to make sure that the existing customers doesn't suffer in any way of the transition. But there's definitely gonna be some stuff going on there, but we'll see how we handle it. But the idea is to just make it very easy for existing customers to just keep on playing.
What is the cost right now for the original game, and sort of how are you thinking about, because I understand that's going to be like a little bit of a challenge to come up with what the price point is going to be on Steam versus App Store and so on and so forth.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a challenge. Like it's $1.99 today, and we're gonna look at sort of how we wanna position ourselves on all the different platforms and everything, and coordinate that in a way that makes sense for the customers as well. So it's very important.
So it seems like a concept where you could sort of have a low price point, but then add a lot of DLC and sort of expand the game as you go along. Is that sort of the plan?
We're discussing several different approaches to that. So it might be something along those lines, or we might go like completely in a different direction. It all depends, and we really have to discuss it a lot, and we want to make sure that we have Behold's opinion about how we position the game on the market as well.
Yeah, we definitely are adding more stuff in the future. What's being discussed, how we are going to do that, but definitely there are more things to come.
So one of the things that struck me when I saw the game is, of course, all the references, all the humor, all that's in there. And it's nice to see how global nerd humor is, because you're from Brazil, but it's like everyone catches on because we've sort of all grown up on the same sort of things. What is that like? Will there also be any sort of specific Brazilian humor in there that we might not get?
Actually, there are a lot of Brazilian humor already. You sure won't get it, but Brazilian players have found it already. They all send mails like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. I actually saw that on a game, never seen before." But yeah, we're keeping.
You have to give us an example now. You can't just say it like that.
There's the Saci. Ever heard of the Saci? It's Brazilian folklore. It's a boy has only one leg and a red hat. He's a trickster. He I don't know how to say it, but he's a trickster. He tricks everyone. Yeah, that's about it. And it's from Brazilian folklore. He's in the game. Besides just being in the game, the way he talks, after each word he says "hui," which a thing from the internet when about how the Brazilians laugh in the internet. They're like "hui, hui, hui, hui." So the Saci, he's always laughing. He's always saying "hui" in between words. But that's one example. There's more, but you gotta find out.
All right, and of course we saw some turtles when we went into a dungeon and things like that. I mean, this art of the game is just something that I think appeals to sort of a generation of gamers who grew up on the early days of RPGs. Is that something you played? Is that what you want to sort of bring back? That sort of first-person dungeon experience?
Yeah, like I said, it's all about the experience. So if we're trying to bring the pen and paper experience that was in our youth, and of course we're still having this experience, but if we're trying to bring back these memories, it's cool to have other things that reference about that time when we were young, playing things, watching TV, all these things around us. It's nice to have them back in the same place.
So another nice thing is that you're not just on this adventure. You're also the dungeon master. You're also sort of in control of your own destiny, so to speak. Sort of that idea is really, really nice. And sort of what made you want to do that?
Well, first because many of us on Behold Studios already played played as the dungeon master. We usually change who's the one being the dungeon master, and it's also a fun way to play an RPG, a traditional RPG. So we wanted to have this in the game, just to be complete. You couldn't have an RPG without a dungeon master. You can actually set the trap and just pretend you're gonna fall for it.
Yeah. That's true. So what's the plan with Knights of Pen and Paper? What is the sort of the rollout plan?
Like the long-term plan?
Yeah. Or like when is it coming out and sort of...
Oh, like the release date is not exactly set, but we're looking at the summer release sometime. And then, like I said before, like we probably are going to keep supporting the game pretty much after that. I know Behold has already been patching the game regularly after release, and we're going to make sure that they keep getting to do that kind of stuff. We know that's important for the gamers, that you show continued support for the product even after release. So
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
thank you. Thanks.